Addicted to Marketing show. Let's hit it in 3, 2, 1, baby. Let's go. All right, so we're back. Okay, so I'm still getting the timing down to that, but I love this new Facebook Live software. It's called Ecamm Live, and you can like loop in all the videos and all this fun stuff. But today, in today's show, we're going to be talking all about growing your email list. So I want to get super controversial here, and I'm going to say email lists are still more important than chatbots. And even though that's controversial, I feel it's better timing than ever to say this because, just so many people are probably freaking out, complaining about the chatbots that went down when Facebook decided, hey, guess what? If your business depended on chatbots, we don't care. You're screwed. Screw you. So Facebook really did a nice one, and everyone who was trying to get into the chatbot game now officially can't. So I know they're saying it's a week. It was a week last week, but it just makes this lesson all the more important and powerful. So I can't really move this over. Let's move this up here. So this week we're going to be talking all about the 13 insanely actionable strategies to double your email list time and time again, like I have. So the reason why, number one reason why email lists are so important is, guess what? You own it. Facebook doesn't own it. Google doesn't own it. You can't get the Facebook slap back and forth. They're like backhanding us left and right here. They're like, you like Facebook ads? Screw you. You're paying more. You like Facebook bots? Screw you. You can't start them anymore. It's like now, it's never been a better timing to come out with and be controversial and say, yeah, chatbots are like, hey, it's 80% open rate. Well, right now there's 0% open rate for people who want to get in. And email lists are just time and time again, I feel like the bread and butter. There may be a time where it moves away from email, and I'm sure it will, but right now it's great to have a digital asset in your business that you own, that you're in full control of for the most part. And I am going to give you some actionable steps to go and double your email list. So whatever it is now, we're going to double it. As I take a sip of delicious water and not knock it over. But let's just start. There may be a few people in here who don't have an email list at all, or people who watch this back again non-live. So if you don't have an email list, you're at zero, don't feel guilty or shamed or like, hey, I'm sad, I'm depressed because everyone else has an email list. I haven't even started. Maybe you're like all in on the chatbot game and you're realizing how important it might be to start an email list. But it's easy to feel down about like where if you have like 7 people on your email list and your only website visitors or your only funnel visitors are like your mom and her book club. So, but that's why we have these strategies, and that's why I'm going to help you grow yours. Let's just read through because I got all my content. By the way, guys, we have this Addicted to Marketing show. It's also a podcast, and you can see that by going to addictedtomarketing.com, and you can subscribe to our podcast, and you can literally digest this entire piece of content here in radio format. Like you can listen to it while you're at the gym. You can listen to it in the car as you're going to work. You don't have to sit and watch, but I'm going to encourage you to sit and watch because you're already sitting and watching. So let's just go. Let's just get started. I'm not gonna go over all of them. I just want to give you guys the bits and pieces, some golden nuggets, like Akbar Sheikh would say, some super value bombs, like I would say. And let's just get started here. So if you're stuck at 7 email subscribers, or you simply haven't ramped up your email list building yet, let's dive into these 13 insanely actionable email strategies to exponentially grow your list. Okay, so the first one is to create multiple lead magnets. So a lot of people might be like, Kevin, what the heck's a lead magnet? You have me at email list, but I don't know what a lead magnet is. So a lead magnet is basically a a PDF file, a checklist, or a cheat sheet, or some type of like whitelist like it could be a PDF, it could be like a piece of paper, a document, it could be a Microsoft Word document, like it doesn't matter. And the reason we call it a lead magnet is because you're often giving that away for free in trade for a lead, which is like their email, their credentials, like their email address, their name, stuff like that. So you want to have multiples of these. Like you want to, I always like to say, so maybe, for example, I'll just go over me. Like, so I talk about multiple things. I talk about webinars. I talk about building your email list. I talk about chatbots, all these different things. Well, you don't want to just have one single lead magnet. Like you want to have a multiple few different lead magnets, depending on how many sub niches, like categories you talk about. You know, just like how a blog has different categories, you could have a lead magnet for each category. There's lots of reasons you should do this. You can figure out what is connecting best with your audience, and that can help you later on create a product for about that specific thing. I mean, it's a great way to survey your audience to see what they're interested in. I mean, if you throw one line out there and try and catch a fish and you don't catch anything, well, maybe you should have a few different fishing poles. Throw them out over by the end of the lake. Throw them over by the bed with a bunch of plants and stuff. Maybe they're over there eating, and throw it right under you. Like, try and have as many leads out there, as many hooks as you can, so you can catch the fish. I mean, that's a great thing. So another thing is, number 2, you can add content upgrades to old and popular posts. So old school, I always preach it's great to have a website that you own. A lot of people, they don't really believe in blogging anymore. Maybe they moved to podcasts, and that's completely fine. This number 2 still applies to you. So with a blog, I'll show you an example of a content upgrade. So you see, for this week's content, guys, we have a content upgrade. So it says, get the freebie, the best and worst of email marketing platforms cheat sheet. So my team and I, we created a cheat sheet, which it's like a cheat sheet to see which email marketing platform. So to have an email list, you have to have an email marketing platform like Drip, or like what was the one I used to use? Active Campaign, Infusionsoft. You have to have one of them. So we made a cheat sheet together, and we picked out like, well, let's help them figure out which ones suck and which ones are great. So because I chose one that was pretty old. Active Campaign is really great. But I wanted to move towards something that was more new, and a company that I saw them being more innovative, so they could integrate with more new things in the future. So I made a cheat sheet, which ones are great, which ones are terrible. And the way this works is you click on it and you see, hey, this is a content upgrade. So it's literally, the reason it's called content upgrade is because you're upgrading your piece of content, which is this blog post. So the blog post is my content. We're upgrading it with this cheat sheet, and so they can get something extra. It's like the cream, the cherry on top. They just put their name in, their email. They could get this emailed to them, and then it grows my email list. So this is like some of the steps I used to double my email list. So I have these on most every single piece of content we produce, unless it just doesn't make sense to have one. We normally have some type of freebie that complements the post, that upgrades the post. So like I was saying, if you don't have a blog, this is still relevant to you. Say you have a podcast, or you're looking to create a podcast. So the reason this is extremely valuable is because you can have content upgrades for your podcast. Believe it or not, not very many people do this. The first person I saw that actually did it was Amy Porterfield, and it blew my mind. I was like, this is amazing. I'm doing it right now. So with my podcast, everyone has a show notes page. So for this one, I think it's 14. Let me check real quick. Shoot, I don't even think I have the right one commented on here. I'll have to edit it. But so whatever, say it's your show notes page is kevcharlie.com/14. And people can easily type. It's easy to remember. People can go on their phone on their mobile Chrome browser, or they can sign on their laptop. And they can type in it's very memorable. They can type it in easily. So you say, hey, if you want to get the cheat sheet for this podcast episode, it's specifically about blah, 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 and it'll really help you with blah, blah, blah. And you spark some interest, spark some curiosity, and it's genuinely helpful. Well, you can say, hey, I've got this awesome free thing for you. All you have to do is go to kevcharlie.com/14 to download it now. Boom. Email list. It's amazing. So everyone who's listening to you on your podcast, whenever you push traffic, like maybe you're on another person's podcast and you push people to your podcast, and those new people see one of your episodes and they go and download this thing, guess what? You're collecting their email, and you can collect anything. I mean, you can trade anything for this freebie that you're offering. So let's move along. I smashed that one into the ground. Switch up your call to action button copy. So this one's really simple. This is more like a copywriting tip. A lot of people have like, the buttons are like sign up for my newsletter, or so sign up or submit. Like those things are so boring. Get a little exciting here. Right? We want, the more exciting you get, the more of your voice that comes out. People relate to that. They're attracted to that. They don't want the same old boring stuff. So for example, you could use like gimme it, or you could use like heck yes, or like I need this, instead of the boring old sign up now. So that's really just a copywriting tip. It helps improve what we call a conversion rate. So the amount of people that see it and actually click it, that's the conversion rate. So say 10 people see it, only 5 of them click it, you have a 50% conversion rate. So that's how you can improve people clicking your button. Let's go through here. So there's so many great things here that we've thrown together. Let's go to a fun one. So number 9. So we got 13 here, but number 9, include 5+ different opt-ins on every page. So my website here, I'll just scroll up so you can see an example here. You can see that I have a conversion, it's called a conversion style website, and it's actually Conversion Cat, so I'm not an affiliate for them or anything. I just really love what's his name, David Siteman Garland does, so I actually got his website. But you can see we've got 5 different places to opt in. So we've got this bar up here, and you can see it opt in. You can see here, we got this bar here. So when they click here to opt in, and then let's actually go to my home page. So you'll see we got 1, 2, 3. And then at the bottom, I think there's one at the bottom. 4. So we got it everywhere pretty much. You can opt in everywhere, and the reason it seems and it appears as spammy, it looks a little bit spammy, but it's really not. There's just different people. Everyone's different. So some people will see. More people are prone to see the stuff just look at the top right away, and then some people, they get to a website and they just immediately scroll down. They're like, should I even waste time looking at this? So maybe they scroll down and they see this one. Maybe they scroll through and they're about to click that back button, and they get all the way to the bottom, and then right before they're about to leave, they see some cool offer that you have, and they're like, I'm gonna sign. I'm already gonna click this off. Let me just put my name in here and see what it is, and then I'll leave. So that's part of the reason why it's so important to have so many different locations for your opt-ins on your website, on your funnel. This can be on anything. This could be on your landing page, on your funnel. It's important to have different locations for your opt-ins. That will help improve the amount of people that sign up to your email list. And then we'll go over a few more before we check out for this week. Add sign up call to actions on your social media. Yes, so this is another great way. So for example, on my social media page, let's just go to my page here. You'll see, excuse me. So you'll see that I actually have a button on my cover photo. So you can't actually click this button, but people will click it. And then you'll see that once they click on the cover image, that they have, there's different things they can click over here. So they can go to my website, they can go to my actual podcast, and it's just another great way. I'm actually working on another one to grow my Facebook group. So these 5 images I actually plugged into a really cool profile video right here. So I don't need these anymore. Like these I was kind of using for like social proof, like hey, I hung out with Russell, hey, I'm buddies with Caleb, did this really cool Guinness World Record ClickFunnels event, and then I love my wife, I love family, that's what I'm about, spending more time with my loved ones. But since I got all those things up here now, guess what? That just opened up this space here, which Arnie, the master of Facebook groups, says you should just put one image here and have it be like a down arrow button pointing to your Facebook group, and then you'll see they can click on the Facebook group here, go straight to the Facebook group, and that's a great way to grow your Facebook group. So yeah, so don't forget about social media. That's the lesson here. So use everything on social media. This could be your Twitter cover photo. This could be your Pinterest cover photo. You should have your link in your bio. You should be doing Instagram stories where you have the swipe up. I mean, there's so many different ways you can have call to actions to grow your email list on social media. So never forget that. And that's all we're going to do for today. There's other great things here. Definitely check out the podcast episode. I believe it's getting released today sometime or tomorrow sometime. And you don't want to miss out on that. So I'll talk about all these things. I'll be sharing stories that changed my life, that changed my business's life, that helped us scale, helped us 10x. And you can also go to kevcharlie.com and find this on the homepage. Find this blog post called the 13 Insanely Actionable Strategies to Double Your Email List again and again with the free cheat sheet, and just scroll anywhere on this page. And actually the podcast is right here as well. Scroll anywhere on this page and click this, and you can get my free cheat sheet. So we spent a lot of time looking at every single email platform that we've tried and tested, and we figured out the best and the worst ones. And I want to save you a lot of time because, oh my gosh, it can take a little, it's a bit of an investment to set up an email list, to set up a platform, and you want to make sure you're not wasting any time in that. You want to start out on the right ones, so you don't have to switch and then move everything. It's really annoying. So we made a cheat sheet to help you get it right the first time. So that's it for this week, guys. I love you all. Thanks so much for just following along. I know we're growing really, really fast on Facebook. We're doing a lot of Facebook strategies. So a lot of you guys will be catching this in the, what's it called, after the live. So that's all for this week. Let me know if you have any questions or comments. You can totally comment on here, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. And I will catch you again next week.